Hey, it's Christine. Today I have a new layout for you showcasing the double shot kit from the ScrapRoom for the month of October. And I am using the pink paisley page kit and adding some dimension. This is the second video in my series about adding dimension in unique ways. And so this one is going to cover how I added dimension by, you guessed it, paper folding. There's your close-up look at what we're going to be doing, and let's dive into how I actually did it. So I had this paper, okay, and it is cool looking, but also busy. And I liked the colors and I liked the design of it, but I was like, holy cow, how can I use this in a way that won't be completely overwhelming? What I decided to do was to take out my craft knife and pick a spot within those squares to cut from there into the middle. And I'm going to do it on all four of those lines, the vertexes on each of those angles, and just draw my way in with the craft knife on each of those. What that's going to do is allow me to pull back that triangle and create a really unique dimensional frame. What this achieves is the ability to be able to use this paper without it just being way too much. And so by lessening the amount of stripes and pulling back and showcasing the beautiful pattern paper on the back, I'm able to just calm everything down a little bit, but still make use of that paper that I like. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull those back. As you can see, I'm revealing this really pretty, dark, bold patterned paper on the back side. And one of the things that approaching it like this does is it allows me to use both sides of the paper, which is kind of a rare treat unless you cut it up completely. Now, as you can see, I am pulling it back at a certain point. Now, I am going to use some 3D foam tape and tuck that underneath, not because I need the dimension from it, but because I want my triangles to roll back instead of fold. And I hope that makes sense. It's hard to verbalize that, but I'm not folding them flat back. I want them to have a curve. And so even when I put these into an album, the 3D adhesive underneath will prevent them from folding down flat and keep that dimension and keep a curve going. So that's what I'm really going for there. Now, as you can see, it is starting to come together. I've got piece by piece, and there's a little bit, a little bit of play here, trying to figure out exactly where to place that 3D foam adhesive, apparently throwing craft knives across my desk. That was a good outtake right there for you. And all those little details, that because it's not a technique that I've done a lot of, it definitely took me a little bit of time just to kind of sort through this process right here. But as I promised you, I would be showing you different ways to add dimension to your layouts. And so this is a really cool way to add dimension, and just wait till you see it at the end. It really just pops and very, very unique. So great way to use this paper. Certainly this is not exclusive to this paper. Anything I think that you like the back side of, you could make it work for. If it has like a beach scene on the back side, not so much, but anything with like a consistent pattern on the back side will work really great, particularly if you're using a paper that has a lighter colored front and a darker colored back, or vice versa. Now, I'm going to back the whole thing with the navy blue cardstock that came in the page kit because that pops really nicely. And then I'm going to take this other paper from the page kit and fussy cut it. So this is a really pretty floral paper, and as we know, I love to fussy cut. So I went after this. I fussy cut and fussy cut and fussy cut nearly the entire page up because I am going to use it within the frame that I have created already to further make this layout very unique, very one of a kind, and also have a really nice, soft, feminine feel to it. As I've mentioned before, fussy cutting is a great way to stretch your paper, stretch your products, not worry about if you have all these embellishments to go with it. Now I'm going to take my original piece that I made the frame out of, and I am going to go ahead and secure that onto my cardstock base, and then I'm going to begin to put the whole thing together. So I use some good strong adhesive here because I do want to make sure it sticks really well. But if you notice, I did not add adhesive to the center of the frame. I just did it around the outside because this next step is going to require that that part is open. And so I need that to stay unglued down. So I'm going to take my tape runner and just start to add these flowers. And I'm going to start in each of the corners and then work my way up from there. And what I'm going to do is create just a really beautiful floral frame tucked underneath this original dimensional frame. And you can see it coming together. As I was doing it, I kind of had a vision for it. But you know, sometimes that vision turns out a little disappointing. And this was not one of those cases. This layout came together in such a unique way. You know, definitely a little time consuming just because the process was a little bit tedious, but not overly time consuming and really not overly heavy on product. I did the whole thing with the page kit, didn't need anything extra. So the next thing I'm going to do here is just tuck my picture in and get that secured in there. And you can see it coordinates perfectly with those pink flowers that I just added. And she's actually amongst plants there, so it just works fantastic. Now, as a quick reminder, the double shot kit is a 2-page kit with 2 additional collections separate from what comes in the Flavors of the Month page kit. It's got a cheaper price point. Obviously, it has less stuff because it comes with 2 instead of 4, but it's also a fun addition. So if you're looking to up your game and you want to go not just with the Flavors of the Month, but you want to add on the double shot kit, that gives you 6 fresh collections to play with every month. And it does also come with some embellishments to play with as well as cardstock. So as you can see from today, you can easily make a whole layout from it. Now I am going to add on my title with the puffy stickers that came with the page kit. And then you can see I really don't need a whole lot more, because if I add a whole lot more, I'm just adding product for the sake of adding product, and that's not going to happen. I have a good, nice, crisp, but also dimensional layout going at this point. So the next thing I'm going to add is just one more puffy sticker up above my title. And then I'm also going to add on some puffy stickers just to the corners. And those were just little triangle stickers anyway, so they worked really nicely to be the end point for those corners on my frame. And there you have it. Like I said, it's a complicated but not really complicated layout. There's not a lot of product there. I was able to do a lot with my patterned paper and just add in minimal stickers and come together to make a really creative, unique layout with some very different dimension. If you are employing any of these techniques with dimension, I'd love to see what you do. Tag me on Instagram or head over to my Scrapping with Christine Facebook page and you can show me there. I'm going to keep showing you more dimensional techniques as often as I can, so I'd love to see how you're using them. So thanks so much for being here today, and we will see you again next time.